everybody, this is Jane Chiu from DIYBeadingClub.com. Welcome to the club. In this video tutorial, I'm going to show you 4 variations of design based on circular armature. The first variation is what I call Aries circular pendant. It is formed by attaching an Aries wired component at the center of the pendant. Be creative. You can actually attach some other zodiac sign after learning this tutorial. I will also show you a variation to make this Aries pendant. As you can notice here, the Aries component is actually wire wrapped by wire to give a thicker feel for the whole pendant. This is the third variation for this video tutorial. You will learn how to place a net at the center of the pendant. So we can call this design as netted circular pendant. For those who prefer to decorate the pendant with some beads or clay flower, as per what I show you here, in this video tutorial, I'm going to show you exactly how you can place something like this. So by learning few techniques on wire wrapping and netting, you will be able to come up with your own variation. I hope you would enjoy making these projects. Let's begin with the project, and let me introduce to you the materials and tools needed for this project. For wire, I'm using metal colored wire string, as you can see from here. This type of wire you can get it from any bead store or craft supply stores. In this project, you can also make use of copper wires. For the thick wire, you can make use of 0.7mm or 21 gauge wire. And as for the thinner wire, you can make use of 0.3mm or 28 gauge. For this project, I'm using 3 pieces of wires. The first piece is a wire measuring about 4.5 inches, and the wire size is 22 gauge. The second piece of wire is a 22 gauge wire measuring about 4 inches, and the third piece of wire is a 28 gauge wire measuring about 50 inches. For those who might not be aware, the bigger the wire gauge, the thinner the wire size is. For those who are new to wire jewelry, you can download my wire gauge guide from the website and refer to the chart to find out more about wire sizes. For beads, I'm using approximately 18 round purple beads measuring about 4mm in diameter. In this project, I'm making use of 3 types of pliers: the round nose plier, the wire cutter, and the flat nose or chain nose plier. Now let me show you how to make a round circular armature using the 4.5 inch 22 gauge wire. Okay, you need to get hold of a round object to measuring about 0.8 inch in diameter. So for this purpose, I'm using the round shape of the hammer that I have, and I place the wire around the hammer to make the round shape. So I have just completed with shaping with the round circular. I'm going to show you how to make a loop for this round circular armature. So get hold of a pair of round nose pliers, place it at the end of the wire as per what you see from the video here. Okay, I'm placing it slightly below so that I can make a bigger loop. So you notice how I hold my pliers. I'm holding it this way instead of this way. So by holding it this way, it allows me to turn the wire easily in order to make a loop. As you can see, I have just formed a loop. You might also notice that once I let go the wire from the round object just now, it becomes so much bigger now. So in order to secure the position, I will now attach the 28 gauge wire and ensure that the round shape is within the diameter that I would like to make. Now I'm going to wire wrap the circular armature starting from the left side of the loop towards the right side of the loop, and once I reach here, I will follow the clockwise direction to wire wrap the rest of the circular armature. Now I will pull the wire and to make the loop smaller, and before I start the wire wrapping, I will just measure the diameter to see if this is the diameter I would like to make. Once I have secured the position, I will attach the soft wire on top of the round armature, and I'm holding the soft wire using my two fingers on my left hand, from my left hand, and the rest of the wire I'll bring it towards the end, and I am going to wrap it around the round armature and bring it forward by pulling it slowly. So as you can see, I have completed wrapping the first wrap. Now continue to make the second wrap. So I'm pulling from the back of the round armature and I'm bringing the soft wire, the thin wire, towards the front, and I'm bringing it up again. So repeat the same process for the third wrap. Once you reach the bottom of the loop, you will need to bring the thin wire to the right side of the loop. So once you place it here nicely, again you can start wrapping around the circular armature. I will continue wrapping the rest of the circular armature. So when you wrap this, you need to make sure that there's no overlapping of the thin wire against each other. And from time to time, you can actually adjust the spacing between the wires using your two fingernails here. As you can see, I have wrapped the wire all the way to this point. So along the wire wrapping process, you would notice along the way the soft long wire or the thin wire are easily twisted like this. So you will just need to unfold or untwist them so that the wire will not break easily. And before you proceed, you will realize that the wire at this side is too long, so you can actually trim it off and leave about 0.4 cm. So I'm using the wire cutter to cut it off now. Okay, and now I will continue wrapping the round circular armature. Now I'm wrapping towards the loop, and when you reach the position where the two wires are overlapping, you need to make sure that this wire is being hidden at the back of the wire at the front. So just wrap it and hide it at the back. Once you have completed this part of the wire wrapping, again bring this wire across the loop again. We are now getting ready to insert the round bead onto the circular armature. Now insert the round bead through the thin wire and pull it all the way down. So now, to place it nicely on top of the circular armature, I will slightly bend this part of the wire, and so that the round bead can be placed nicely. And you hold the position tightly, and now I will wrap around the circular armature for 2 times. Now continue the second round bead by placing it on top of the circular armature. And just a reminder, remember to make a bend slightly here. The height of the bend is similar to the height of the hole from the round bead. So I'm wrapping it 2 times again to secure the position. See, I have just finished attaching all the beads onto the circular armature. Now let me cut off excess wire here using a wire cutter. Now I'm going to attach a Aries shaped wire component to the center part of the circular armature. Get a 3.5 inch 22 gauge wire, and we are getting ready to fold the wire into half. So let's measure and identify the center point of the wire. So it should be roughly about 1.8 here. So I will place a chain nose plier here, the middle point of the wire, and I'm going to fold the wire to half. Okay, so you will have a V shape like this. You can use your hand to help you shape, or you can even use the flat nose plier to press the end of the V shape. I'm going to form spirals on both sides of the wire. So now place round nose pliers at the tip of the wire here and turn it as if you are making a loop. Now you can pull out your jaws and place it at the other angle of the spiral and start turning again. Okay, you can continue to turn by adjusting the jaws. You can even use a chain nose plier to help you shape it by pressing the spiral this way and make a turn. You see, this is the first spiral that I've just made. Now let's make the other spiral. I will adjust the spiral for both sides to ensure that they are around the same height. Now let's try to fit this Aries wire component onto the circular armature and see whether it fits the size. If not, you can actually take out and readjust the shape. So now I have more or less a correct shape, and I'm getting ready to attach this wire onto the circular armature. Now take the remaining 28 gauge wire that you just cut off just now and use it to attach the Aries component onto the circular armature. So you need to identify a nice place to do so. So for me, for this pendant, I can attach the spiral onto this side of the circular armature, and as for the other side, I can attach this spiral onto this part of the circular armature. Okay, now I'm going to insert this thin wire onto the circular armature, and I'm going to make the first 1 or 2 wraps. Okay, once I have secured the position, I'm going to string this onto the spiral. Okay, see, I have just managed to insert the thin wire onto the spiral, and now I'm going to wrap it around the circular armature again for 1 time or 2 times. I've just completed wrapping two rounds, and I'm going to pull this wire to the back and cut off the excess wire. Okay, repeat the same process and attach the other side of the spiral. Next, I'm going to attach the end of the Aries onto the circular armature. Next, I would use a flat nose plier to actually flatten the wire where we cut off the remaining wire so that it will not pop out. See, I've just completed making the Aries pendant.